Hello.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, middle of the night.
Wherever you are.
Whatever you're doing.
You're here.
It sounds like that. Whatever you want, you pay the money, we do the price.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Da-da-da-da-da.
We're going to have a catch up.
Yes.
We've had a lot go on in the last few weeks.
Yes.
For both of us.
DMs, bitches. I've got some bitches.
I've got some videos to show you.
Me too. Imagine if we've saved the same video.
I reckon it's the same one.
Oh, we'll find out.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and welcome,
The Unfiltered Bride Podcast. Tips from the top table and beyond.
so you know it's going to be juicy.
So we all know that you're loving our sponsors, Crafty Lab, but we thought you'd like to hear a little bit more about them.
Crafty Lab are a husband and wife team who started the business back in 2021 after planning their own COVID wedding.
Apparently, they were discussing how many things they needed to tell their guests about the wedding. For example, the timeline of the day, wedding facts, and even about their dog. And then one of them said, it's going to be a bloody newspaper at this rate.
And boom, the wedding newspaper was born. I'm not even joking, but every single wedding I go to now has a wedding newspaper. It's as essential as confetti.
From as little as 89p per paper, it's a bit of a no-brainer.
But should I tell you what is cool? Some people are using them as invitations.
Yes, I love that. I think it's really cool to get something physical in the post that then sends you to a website.
Imagine just chilling at home and the postman delivers a newspaper with your mate's face on.
So whether you're looking to give your guests all the details of your day or a unique and fun invite, Crafty Lab are your guys.
And we've got you a discount, so don't forget to use the code unfiltered at checkout. So
Where should we start? These catch-ups are hard.
Can I just show you the video?
Of course you can. No, because if I've got the same video, I want to be showing you the video.
I'm showing it you.
Okay,
It makes more sense for me to show you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Do you know what? I was sent it. So for people watching, they're doing a confetti line, and he's tried to deep dip her. My issue with it is, stop it there. Right, so he's deep dipped her and dropped her, and then just turns around and is like, oh, fucking pick her up, hun.
Is this putting people off?
So
It's the guest reaction for me. If you look at all the guest faces.
I don't think there's I don't think there's anything wrong with dropping a deep dip.
And all the men are laughing and all the women are like, oh.
Like, would you be mortified or would you get up and laugh about it?
No, I'd be mortified.
Would you?
You'd get up and laugh about it, I'd be pissed off and I'd be like, oh, can I unmarry you? This is where I say we have two very different personalities.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, you'd ruin your whole wedding day by being annoyed about that.
Yeah, I'd be a bitch all day.
You really would be a bitch. You'd literally call it off.
Yeah.
Or you'd go, everybody fucking wipe that from your minds. We're going to do it again. Pick up the confetti.
But do you know what annoyed me? People would mention all fucking day and it would piss me off.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
is it an issue?
Don't
Is it a
behave like
story?
I would because it's not nice and
Yeah.
pathetic.
But honestly, I get people send a lot of deep dip videos and stuff for me, which I love. You have to practice. You can't just whack out a deep dip middle of the confetti line.
I do feel like in a traditional marriage where it's a woman and a male, the male is the driver behind it.
You've got to have the trust in who's dipping you.
It's like that activity you used to do at school where you'd be like, fall back and I catch you.
Trustful.
And I've fallen before because someone's moved.
But did you lean forwards?
No, I've seen that before. I'm not that stupid.
I just think, if that happens to you, if you get dropped during a deep dip, you laugh about it, you get back up and you're like, haha, never mind, carry on. The more strop you make of it, like Beth would, the more people will talk about it.
Yeah.
The other tip is make sure you practice a deep dip. And if you're not 100% confident, don't do it in a public setting. Do it when you're doing photos with your photographer. If they drop you in front of a photographer, they don't care.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do love a deep dip though. Right, let me show you a video then. I'll show you one back.
Show me yours and I'll show you mine.
Guys, I've got a problem with my phone at the moment. If anybody's watching this, I have to use the little pen.
It's like she's on a Nintendo DS feeding her dogs and cats.
Oh my God, do you remember that?
Yeah.
I liked the brain training where you had to do it every day.
No, I didn't do that.
I clearly.
I'm smarter than you.
Okay. I've got a few to show you. I don't know which one to show
hurry
you.
up then.
Do I go... Yeah, this one. Okay.
Quick then.
Okay.
I need it closer. My eyes aren't that good, hun. What does it work? Say.
Why can't kids come to my wedding? The kids. Watch it closer though.
Are they all running around in the dry ice?
This is, so for people not watching, this is the bride and groom and they're doing a beautiful first dance. They've got dry ice coming in to the dance floor and there's about 5 kids running around in the dry ice. As she spins, she obviously looks at like a bridesmaid and basically goes, get rid of these kids. And then you see all the people start running on and bringing kids out. This is my issue with children at weddings. It's not children, it's parenting.
Because surely I'd be like, even if as a bridesmaid, I'd be like, get them off.
Yeah.
Before she needs to look at you.
100%. Just what parents have been
They've
like,
spent
that's
a
good
lot of
idea.
money on that dry ice.
Mate. And the photographer
Is it
and
dry ice or
videographer.
haze?
Don't know.
Smoke
Have a look.
machines.
Have a watch it. But watch her
Oh,
face.
it says smoke machines. Oh, it says get off the dance floor.
Does it? Oh, I didn't listen. Turn it up.
I need the kids to be on the side of the dance floor, please. Parents, just kids. You twist and you turn. All the kids.
She shook her head. Because they've got a rehearsed dance.
I would be mortified.
What are the comments saying?
If a DJ had to announce on my first dance, get these kids off the dance floor, I'd be pissed.
Oh, someone put, those are my twin boys in suits. My point is that the actual reason why we have adult-only weddings, we know from experience. Haha.
What?
So it was her kids,
Whose kids?
the bride.
Oh, slightly better.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be fuming.
I would, but again, my issue is
I'd
as
be
a
like,
parent.
start again.
Yeah,
Start again.
That would be my deep dip drop moment. I'd be like, I'm not doing this. We've not practiced this for 2 years for your children to be on my dance floor in my moment. Let me have. But it's all that's all parenting.
Yeah.
There is no way on this earth I would let Isla do anything.
Yeah, but it's because you're in this industry.
No,
People, not having it.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
like people who wear white, they don't know.
They fucking do.
All right.
They do. You know
All right.
what's happening.
All right, hun.
No, I'm just not a fan of this whole parenting. Let your kids do whatever they want.
Okay.
You'd be the same.
Yeah. All right, get off the dance floor now.
But I'd be stood holding them. You fucking wait.
We were talking the other day, and you know when we were at like kids and like your parents are annoyed at you, they just grab your hand really hard and be like, "Don't move." They never shout at you in front of people; they just grab your hand and be like,
My mum, I think, used to, like what she's told me that when we were in a supermarket once, she was like, I was being naughty and she was holding me, and I shouted at the top of my voice, "Stop pinching me!" So yeah, that was my traumatic video of the day. That would be first dance ruined for me.
Okay.
If the DJ had to say.
So lesson learned: kids not on dance floor for first dance, please.
So do we need to teach people the etiquette of having kids at weddings then again?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Or just parenting etiquette.
Yeah.
Kids are not allowed to talk during the ceremony or speeches. And if they do, you take them out. Your turn.
Kids are not allowed iPads in the ceremony.
Interesting.
I just think
The glow.
the glow.
Mm.
And then they accidentally, and it's like, "Go, Mario! You scored!
Ho-ho!
Woohoo! Like
That one was good.
yeah, it was good.
Your children are not allowed anywhere near the dance floor on the first dance.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Your kids are not allowed to colour the tablecloths because you're going to get a big bill,
And it's going to come directly to you.
and I'll be able to tell you what table it was, and I'll be able to point out what kid's name it was.
And kids write their names on stuff.
Yeah, Tom was here.
2K7. Don't let kids mess with decor or any wedding stuff. Like, just leave it alone.
Have a kids area. Have
Yeah.
a nanny.
Yeah.
Let's get them out of the way. Let's keep them occupied. Kids are going to be kids. Like, if you're going to have them, keep them entertained.
Yeah, I feel like I seem really strict, but I like my child to be a child when it's appropriate to be a child. When you're out in the drinks reception, do whatever you want, as long as you're not wrecking anything.
No, I've got envisions of kids. I've seen it before where people have garden games, which I'm not a fan of, where kids like charge at the Jenga and knock it over, and I'm like, oh, that is ick level 1000 for
I
me.
did have one of my couples say to me the other day that they've ordered all these kind of like arcade games and all this shuffleboard. You remember we played the thing?
Oh, I love shuffle.
But they were like, can you have on your job to just make sure that adults also get the opportunity to play? It's not there for the kids.
Yeah.
It's there for the adults. The kids can obviously go on stuff, but don't take over everything. Just a little bit of common sense, guys. Okay, anyway, we diverted from what we're talking about. We're not even talking about anything. We're just talking. Tell me what you've done this week. Tell me what you've done this month.
I've had a busy week.
Okay.
I've had a really
Personally
busy
or
week.
work?
But
Okay.
I feel like we're quieter in terms of weddings, but we've done some awesome weddings. Like
Yeah.
killer weddings, big florals, autumnal florals. I think I said it last time. Like we're going into the winter season.
I
I've got
love
my
a winter wedding.
boots on.
Yeah.
Like I'm here for winter. I love winter.
I think that winter weddings need to make a bigger comeback.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
oh yes. That was, what was
Oh,
that?
yes,
Churchill
yes,
dog.
Oh yeah. Shush, shush,
I
shush,
think
shush, shush.
I thoroughly enjoyed the fact of having a winter wedding, knowing we were indoors.
Yeah.
That was it. All the spaces were considered for what we were doing. If we got a chance to be outside, great. If not, don't care. It was darker. It was cozier. Fairy lights hit better. Sparklers work nicer.
And
Happy.
this is what I mean. I want to say something.
Go on.
Lighting is really important for your wedding day.
I totally agree. Not much thought goes into it.
Yeah, people don't forget. And sometimes your venue has great lighting, but if it doesn't, it's just a blank canvas. Lighting's going to be your best friend. You need to think about production. So yeah, that's really important. But what I've done this week, so I mean, I started our week off just doing admin, but this was last week. We went cocktail tasting for the tour. If you didn't know, you now know.
We're going on tour. That was so much fun.
So we went to the Birmingham
Revs
to Cuba to go do cocktail tasting, cocky tasting.
Cocky tasting. It was lovely.
We got so much stuff lined up for you guys. Like I'm bursting to the brim of how much stuff we've got lined up.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. Like, you know, we're going to do it well.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. So we're at cocktail tasting. And that was a really good insight because there's so many ways you can present your his and hers cocktails.
Oh my God, we had so much fun.
I feel like just giving it away, but
we're doing signature cocktails. We're doing Beth and Georgie
We're
cocktails.
doing her and her cocktails.
Yeah.
And obviously mine's well bougie.
I feel like you can't say, don't give anything too much.
And Georgie's is...
If our personalities were in a cocktail, this is what they are.
Yeah. You just say, and you all better fucking drink mine.
So Beth's is just a fucking slice of lemon.
Yeah, that's me.
Mine is just sickly candy floss.
Ew, vile.
But no, but they look like, I feel like people sometimes, again, you miss opportunities within a wedding to super personalize something. All we've done is picked cocktails off the menu, tweaked it ever so slightly and renamed them. Like it's not rocket science, but it's just effort.
But the whole point of the tour is to see things, get inspo, have a good time, evening of the wedding.
It is not and
not
we've
a
said to
wedding
suppliers, it's not a sales. Nobody is selling anything there. TBC. Nobody is like pressuring you to get stuff. It's purely come and be the guest at your wedding and see what you liked, and then we'll send you everything after. This is how to make a banging evening wedding. Take what bits of it you want. But I'm excited for cocktails. I'm excited for music. Like there's already songs that we've got in mind that I'm like, I know that moment is going to be.
What song?
Can I say? I want everyone to sing Natasha Bedingfield Unwritten. Like, you know, when everyone like shouts it, I'm there for that.
I feel like when we speak to the DJ and band and stuff, it's going to be like Georgie's song, my song, Georgie's song, my song, Georgie's song, mine. And you'll know which ones are mine.
Yeah.
And you'll know which ones are Georgie's.
I'm so excited. I am excited.
Cool.
But it was nice cocktail tasting. It was really good.
Yeah, good to see the space. We've thrown a load of extras at it, which weren't included in the ticket price, but we thought, let's go bougie.
YOLO. Because Birmingham is date one.
Yeah.
This is the
launch.
The proper launch of the tour. So go hard or go home.
Okay, so then I went up to Manchester.
You did?
Oh, wait, are we going to say Birmingham suppliers? We're going to do a tour episode?
Yeah, let's not do...
Okay, fine. So I then went up to Manchester for a party.
What?
10-year party of 6:15.
Why didn't I come?
You weren't invited me.
Why wasn't I invited?
I don't know. They didn't invite you. Just like I don't get invited to your fucking holidays.
Fair.
Which was cool. We saw lots of different bands. We saw people flaring on stage. It was really nice to be in the Manchester crowd.
Yeah.
Because we are very much Southwest London kind of vibe. So I was up with the Manchester lot, and honestly, it was amazing. But then my favourite part of the week. Did you see my video? I went to Inspirations Wholesale, which is the viral Christmas decoration wholesale place.
Oh.
And let me tell you, I spent a fortune on black baubles.
Shock.
Of course,
shocking. I thought you were going blue.
No, I changed mine. I'm black. I'm going like Scandi, like your wedding vibe.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Nice.
Like woodland, warm, like beiges.
Was this for personal use, not for weddings?
Well, I did actually go because I've got a Christmas client and I didn't get what I wanted, so then I just thought I'd go shopping. They have a website. They have a website as well.
Okay.
Inspirations Wholesale. Trust me, just Google.
Can you buy it as just a normal person though?
You have to register, but you can buy as a normal person.
Okay. Brian doesn't really. We don't really. I want decor. I want
No,
more
I'm
stuff.
going to town. I've already started putting some Christmas decks out.
No, disagree.
Yeah.
I realised that last week's episode, guys, by the way, when we recorded it, it was pre-Halloween.
Yeah.
And now it's going out. I'm going to sound like a right idiot being like, not before. Like, I'm okay to get into Christmas mood, but you can't put decorations up and you can't play songs yet.
I have a little white house that I've bought, and it's on my dining room table, and I'm just slowly putting decorations out until Jack finds them and says no. So that's what I did then. And then what did I do Thursday? Oh, I did that
know.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
Friday to London.
Nice. Why?
So I did 24 hours of driving last week. It's
I
quite a
feel
lot.
you.
We
Do
went.
you mind driving?
No, because I just put a podcast on. I listened to the Unfiltered Bride podcast.
Hashtag sponsored.
Hashtag sponsored. No, went to London, did a site visit at Four Seasons.
Nice.
Penthouse.
Ooh.
So the vibe of the wedding is not big corporate banquet hall.
yeah.
It's 30 people, intimate wedding in the day in the penthouse. And then they've got a DJ in the, so all the furniture's moving in the lounge, skyline view of Tower Bridge, the Shards. And it's so freaking
Fuck
cool.
me. How much is that?
Well, she was saying, no. They were saying, so they were going to book a wedding venue in Devon
Oh, it'd be, yeah.
for 200 people. And she said it's cheaper to do it this way.
Well, yeah.
And she was like, it's way more our vibe. We're very cool, chilled people. And then they're having a lot more people to the evening. But the best part of it is
Yeah.
they're not going to put on the invite penthouse. I just said put Four Seasons. Don't tell people you're in the penthouse.
Yeah.
Keep them guessing every step of the way.
Yeah, because you'd picture a corporate.
Yeah, corporate banquet hall,
Yeah.
patterned carpet. Like, don't get me wrong, the Four Seasons is gorgeous. Like, gorgeous. But yeah, we can't wait for that one.
That's cool.
But I have to get up for like 7 different lifts.
Oh, for your decor. I feel like that one needs a coordinator. Let her know.
Yeah, so did that.
Yeah.
Then I went to see the function band's
Woo,
new
our
offices.
friends.
Because we had a meeting with a client because we were adding production, lighting.
Yeah.
We redid the design, which was cool. They got new offices. Their toilet's basically a disco. I got to see all the suits, all the dresses. Like,
Yeah.
mad what goes on behind the scenes.
I want to, in our 5-year plan, have an unfiltered bride land. And you come into all these different spaces and there's just like wedding inspiration.
Have you
everywhere.
seen P. Louise?
No?
Like P. Louise makeup?
No.
You're not cool. So
I know.
she's got like basically, so she's got like a makeup academy and does makeup, and she's got this big like pink castle in a warehouse. It's got a cafe. It's got like
Yes.
content rooms. It's got a shop. It's got
Yeah, I want all that.
Like all the floors are pink. The only floor that's not pink is the finance office,
What colour is it?
like blue or something. They were like, no pink in here.
Oh, I want to go. Oh, I want something like that
Cool.
where you come.
Brideland,
Yeah.
not Candyland. Brideland.
Brideland.
And Groom.
Of course.
Groom's corner.
Don't say anything. Anyway, what else you done?
So did that, and
Yeah.
then we went down to see the Drunken Jockeys, who are a mobile bar company. Went to do cocktail tasting, and then like they build all their bars. So they like they're flat pack bars, and they build them and
Oh,
design them.
nice.
So we were designing bars for our client.
Cute.
Sit into the event space. So we went and did that, which is really cool. Very young, homegrown company.
Yeah.
What I'm finding is who I love working with are people a similar age to me, similar kind of like upbringing in the industry.
Yeah.
Everyone's just so creative, so cool, and
Worked
wants to
from
work
the bottom,
together. Yeah,
worked their way up.
up,
Appreciate it. Yeah.
and are just freaking awesome.
Nice.
So that's what I did, and then I had friends over at the weekend,
Oh, nice.
and then I did another site visit yesterday.
Where?
It was where they filmed Married at First Sight.
With who?
It was Erica and Jordan, and
Yeah.
JJ and Bianca. So they had 2
Ooh.
spaces they used. When I was there, I was like, ooh.
I'm not up to date with Married at First Sight. This don't tell me anything.
Oh.
I'm nearly there, but
Oh,
I saw something on Facebook last night, and now I know something that upset me.
scandalous. What?
I don't want to ruin it for
Go
people.
on, say it. It's coming out weeks later.
Oh, this is true. Okay, so if you don't want to hear this, then go blah blah blah. The oh god, I can't remember their names.
Roz and Thomas.
Roz and Thomas.
Yeah,
have
I've
split
seen that, but I've heard that they're still together. Like
In real
now.
life?
Yeah. The weddings were 8 months ago.
up. We need some maths people on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should get Ella.
Okay.
Like, who'd you like?
I don't know. Do you know what? I haven't even thought about who I like and dislike. I just know who will actually last and who won't.
Oh, I want to speak to Peggy and George. I want to know about this squatting situation.
Right, here's my issue with this. I don't get to go back to Brian now and be like, by the way, in 2009 when you did that video, I don't like it. Yeah. He'd be like, we weren't fucking together. Also, he's a single man.
Yeah.
Now you're married. He didn't moan about her for going on fucking no lighty, no likey.
No lighty.
Did you see her on that? She didn't look
likey.
anything like it.
Oh, have you watched Don't Look Down? The celebs stand up to cancer.
No. Oh no.
Oh, I would be so scared of heights. Yeah, that's my week. What have you been doing? You went to a nice spa, new nice hotel, didn't you?
Yeah. I really enjoy going to these
as
things.
an influencer.
No, it wasn't an influencer one. It was, hold on, I'll get my pen out because I've got some notes. It was actually a really clever idea that I think a lot more venues should do. They invited some wedding planners that are either doing a wedding there, have done weddings there, something like to do a tour, to show them around. We had dinner, we stayed over, we got to know each other. Like, it was amazing.
I think the biggest thing is nowadays marketing has changed. You need to stop with like trying to put people on your suppliers list and charging them. Ridiculous.
Oh, I need to tell you something else if I carry
on. You need to invite people. You need to get people to do content, get people to do videos, get people to feel and experience what you do.
100% agree. I would recommend that place.
Yeah.
Purely because I've actually been there. I stayed in their bedroom. It was really nice. The staff were really good. The food was really nice. And they looked after me.
There we go.
So when somebody says, I'm looking for a wedding venue, guess what fucking pops to mind?
So if anyone would like to invite us, we're more than happy to
I actually want to make it a bit of a thing of making maybe a wedding suppliers meetups in venues so that they get an opportunity to like showcase, because they also had like a magician that came.
Cute.
He was then showcased. I'm assuming he did it for free there.
Yeah.
But has then been in a room with 15 wedding planners that are all like, that was cool.
Yeah.
Talking of, I'm putting my phone away now because I just thought of another thing. Put
your stylus away.
Oh, don't. Talking of paying to be on a supply list, I had a wedding magazine ring me the other day, not naming names, and they said we're doing, and you'll know who it is as well, yeah, because you did the wedding too. And they said, hi, so we're doing a spread on X and X, and you were involved in their wedding. I went, yeah, I was. So I was like, cool, yeah. And they were like, we're looking for people to do advertising like on the same page. And I was like, cool, I get that idea. I was like, I don't pay to do marketing. That's not where my money goes. And I was like, oh,
where
okay.
does it go?
Brian. So I was like, oh, okay. So she was like, if you pay for the advert, we'll credit you. We'll put links to your website, things like that. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, did you say you'll credit me? Yeah. If you pay for the thing. I was like, so you don't credit me if I don't pay to do the advert? No. But there's my wedding. Less so for me, but for you, it's all your styling. What do you mean you're not crediting?
Are they crediting the photographer?
Don't know. No, she said they don't credit any suppliers that don't pay to advertise on that page. And I was like, you cheeky bitch.
Do you know what annoys me? They're like, we're going to link you. No one reads a magazine online. So also no one's going to go www.
I was just like,
cheeky.
You want to use everybody.
You want to use everybody else's work to benefit you.
Yeah.
But you want to charge them.
Yeah.
Criminal.
£250.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I was like, but I don't see the return on investment on that kind of thing. And you've pissed me off now because I was at that wedding, whether you're going to credit me or not. Dickhead.
And it's all my decor.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's worse for you because at least I'm not in any of the photos. But like, that's literally your products.
It is what it is. It's someone's wedding. They can do whatever they want with the photos. I'm sure the clients agreed it. So
yeah. If the couple have put their thing forward, but I know that the couple would have put it forward saying, "Here's my list of suppliers."
Yeah.
And they've gone, I'm going to use that to contact to try and get £250 per supplier.
I think.
But do you know what she said? She was like, I said, I must have asked like why they're not crediting anything. She's like, well, we've got a bank of lots of weddings that we can use, so we'll just use a different wedding if we don't get enough suppliers do it. I was like, okay,
go on then,
dickhead.
Go on then.
Yeah, anyway, sorry.
Rude.
I've got so many bitches. Yours was much nicer. I just wrote down, I've got too many things I need to talk to you about. I'm just going to rattle through them all. So I had a few problems this month.
Oh,
with suppliers.
Oh, fuck.
Shocking.
Not me.
Not you. We're okay.
You were emailing me actually like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, go away.
I was smashing some work out though.
Go away.
Yeah, literally replied, go away. So first one.
Oh no.
Oh, there's had loads. I nearly cried on one of the days.
Oh no.
I know. So one wedding.
Oh
no. Not Margaret. She was really nice. No, I can't remember. Anyway, so I've turned up to a venue. I've got a client that I've been booked for ages. I'm doing on the day coordinating. It's miles away, and I was like, cool, no dramas.
Site visit? Is it site visit?
No. This is wedding day.
Wedding day. Cool.
So I've turned up. I've met the bride, and she's super excited. She like she's very invested in my brand, the podcast, all of those things. So she might even be listening. So
Shout
she'll enjoy
out.
this. So I got there.
Shout out.
I got there and did my hi, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, the photographer's coming in a minute. So he can show you I hadn't been there before. So she was like, he can show you the spaces. I was like, cool, fine. If not, I'll just have a wander around. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
And she was like, just to let you know, he doesn't like coordinators. And I was like, oh, brilliant. But I was also like,
Thanks for telling me.
I was like, oh, don't worry. It doesn't like it. I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me. As I say, it doesn't bother me. It does bother me, but I don't want my bride to know that it bothers me.
Yeah. So it doesn't bother you, but it does bother you.
It doesn't bother me to the bride and groom.
Yeah.
It bothers me silently.
Inside.
Inside, I'm crying. So photographer turns up and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, and the bride then said, do you mind showing her around? And I was a bit like, oh, I can look myself in it. But he was like, yeah, fine. So went out, showed me the places, went into the venue. So he clearly works at the venue a lot. So they're all like this. And little old me's turned up, newbie, being thrown in. So I went through the day plan and I was like, oh, I've got on my notes to kind of help with the group photos. I don't need your help. I went, no. I was like, not like that, but I was in, she's got a massive dress. I was like, to do her training things like that. He was like, well, I don't need you. I was like, well, it's on my notes that I'm going to help. So I'm going to help. We need to be behind the camera. Oh, do I? Fucking hell. The other 80 weddings this year, not one photographer told me to get out the shot. Of course, I'm not going to be in the photos. Like, and I was just like, you're a prick. Now you've pissed me off.
Was he a good photographer?
Do you know what? I actually haven't looked at the photos, but I didn't know who he was. There was, and fine. To me, then no matter what he's done, he's pissed me off. And I was like, no, I was like, I appreciate that. I want to make sure that I'm doing all of my jobs. And he was just like, shut off this. Like from there, I was like, you clearly don't like me, and I'm gonna make you. So we do the rest of the stuff. I then go over to the venue. They are all clearly talking about me, which is hilarious.
Really?
Yeah. It was horrible. Like I was literally like proper school bullying vibes. So I was like, I don't give a fuck. My bride has paid for me to be here, and I'm going to do exactly do what you're going to do. So I then try and meet the venue. It's not actually the venue. I think it's the caterers that work in-house at the venue. And there was a lady there, and she was just like straight up not. I was like, oh, there was a box of stuff for me to put. Actually, I've done it. Right, okay. I was like, no worries, fine. And then had done the other stuff. And I was like, cool, no worries. I went to then check all this stuff that they'd done. And this is when I say to couples about venue versus coordinator, they had done it, but it wasn't right. It wasn't neat. It was like, to me, I know this sounds ridiculous, but they had reserve signs, they had tissues, and they had confetti. So you would put them on every chair in the same order, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Every chair was totally different. There wasn't enough confetti to do every single guest, which is right, but they had put them on totally random chairs. And I was like, put it on every other chair so that we then get like, and I was just like, this is the bit that you pay extra to have that level of attention, not just I've put it out. So I did all that. I also had to change like her centerpieces. She had done this really cool. It was like, when I explain it, it's not going to sound very good, but it did look good. She had a plate, you know, like a proper black plate, bowl, and then candles. So they'd put the plate flat, the bowl on top, and the candles in the bowl and around it. And I was like, went over, turned the bowl upside down, put the plate on top of the bowl, and then put the candles on top of the plate as it was meant to be. And I was like, again, you're acting like you don't need me to be here.
But you do.
But you fucking do, because she would have walked in and been mortified that then all of this stuff. Same for like, they didn't have forks out for an afternoon tea, but you've got cake. I want a fork with my cake. So it's just
Did
like
you ask
all of
them for
those
that?
I did.
And what did they say?
We don't normally do it. I was like, the bride wants it. Put it fucking down.
Give me the fucking fork.
Give me the fucking. I was like, I'll put them out. Like again, I will help every venue. I've got no problems with it. They didn't give me a drink. They did like just being dicks all day. And then later on, we're all sat having food, and the photographer then finds my social media, and suddenly they're all talking again about me, and then suddenly they want to be my friend again.
We have had that exact same situation.
I don't mind if I turn up and you haven't decided on me yet. Cool. Let me show you how good I am.
But don't be mean.
Yeah. And then judge me. But he literally said, oh, how have you got so many followers? I was like, I'm really good at my job.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. I said, I'm really good at my job. He's like, oh, right. Okay. And then when we were leaving, I was nice to them the whole day. I don't have a problem. But when they were leaving, my last thing as I left is, I told you like coordinators in the end. Just wanted him to know that I knew that he had made the comment that he doesn't like coordinators.
And what did he say?
Nothing. The videographer laughed and I just walked off. But I was like, that was the thing. It was literally, you made me feel really isolated the second I got there for no reason whatsoever. I was never going to get in your way. really good at my job,
And
would
did you
only
know
help you.
I have a podcast,
And
which
did
I'm
you know
going to
actually-
fucking own you on.
Really famous, and now you've pissed me off.
And I'm going to tell all the world about it.
So anyway, and I've had some couples that have said to me, like, oh, our venue have said that you don't need a coordinator. And I'm like, do you know what? Fuck these venues. The ones that tell you don't need a coordinator are probably the ones you need to worry about.
Also, I've been a coordinator at a venue. Fucking give me a coordinator.
Yeah.
It means my day is so easy.
Like, it just means you've got two eyes looking at everything
Yeah.
instead of one. It means that if something happens, one of you can go and do
Please,
that.
you could go have a fucking break.
Honestly, over it.
What else has happened?
Oh, I've got another bitch. It's had a bad week.
What about...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, I think I did cry that day. This wasn't a
Really?
supplier though. It really upset me. It upset me for a couple of days actually, because I was like,
No.
it had humbled me, but like not in a night. So I don't want to be too obvious with it, but we did a wedding. I did a wedding. You might have been there. And it was all fine. Me and the bride had so I do a call with my couple.
Lovely bride and groom, by the way.
Lovely.
Lovely.
And
bride
the wedding was so I do a call with all my couples. I go through all the plans in the morning. Right, who's putting your dress on? Mum's there. I want you to do it because I want that moment alone.
Yep.
Cool. Wrote all that down. She wanted me to put the dress on in the morning so that she had time to be by herself. And I was like, no problem whatsoever. Anyway, fast forward to the day and she's got a second dress. And I was like, it didn't come up when we were doing our thing, which is fine. And I was like, when do you want to change? Just so I can make a note. And she was like, before the first dance. Cool, fine. I'll just give you a nod.
Yep.
When's a good time to do it? So we get to that point in the day. So I've been doing all the stuff in the morning. We get to that point in the day where it's after the food. And I was like, you obviously want to change your dress before the first dance. What time do you want to do it? And she's like, get me in an hour. Cool, no problem. I'll come and get you in an hour. Did some other stuff, came back. Are you ready to put your dress on? Yeah, sure, cool. Should we go up? Yeah, cool. Put the dress on, come back down. Then her mum comes over. And I'm thinking the normal of her coming over to go, thank you so much for all your help today. And she comes over and goes, I was meant to put her dress on. And I am so sorry. I was like, I didn't know that. She hadn't said that to me. Because at any of those points in that time, she would have gone, can you grab my mum?
Mm-hmm.
Can you, I want my mum. So I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that. You're running around organising this day as if it's your day. I was like, no, I'm paid to I'm actually paid to organise it. Just running it off your plans. I was like, they're not my plans. They're the bride's plans. We went through it all. I'm literally like shook at this point, and she is shouting at me, and I'm like, okay. She was like, I was meant to put the dress on, and I was like, I apologise if that was supposed to happen, but nobody said that to me, and if it was on my notes, it would have happened. And she's like being vile to me, and I was like, don't speak to me like that. I was like, I have been paid by your daughter to come here and run this day, and that's exactly what I've done. And then she was just fuming, stormed off. Jokes on her, because later on it was the fucking sparklers, and I was like, I'm going to set your hair on fire, but I didn't, because I'm a good coordinator. But I said to the bride, the bride saw me at one point, and I said to her, I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know your mum was supposed to put your dress on.
Yeah.
She went, she wasn't. I was like, but again, the issue is the generation doesn't understand weddings now. It's different now, but also maybe she didn't want you to put the fucking dress on. Maybe she didn't want to be around you for that bit. So I'm happy to take the heat from it, but it made me then be like, oh shit, am I doing too much? But then I thought back to all my other weddings where they're like, I would like my mum to put my veil in. Cool, no problem. And at that point I'll go, Mum, you want to come and do the veil? Or when mums do the dresses, they'll mess around with it for the photos, and then I whip in and do all the buttons up so they don't feel like they have to do it. So I was like, nah, fuck you, making me question if I'm good or not, just because you were a bitch. But if you'd fancy it. So yeah, that one really pissed me off. And then I literally walked back into turning the room around, and I was like, am I going to cry or am I okay? It's just like being spoken to like that. It's the bit where you're like,
yeah, no, I get it.
And your daughter's paid like lots of money for me to come and do exactly what you've just told me not to do.
Yeah, no, I get it.
These bitches.
These mums.
Did I have anything else to bitch about? Hold on.
I've got loads.
Okay, good.
Maybe next episode.
Yeah, I know. Oh, this isn't a bitch, but this was a sad wedding. It wasn't a sad wedding, but did a wedding on a Sunday. And they had about 70 people there, and they had American guests, Filipino guests, British guests, like lots. It was a cool wedding. Yeah. And it was all like Halloweeny. It was like super cool. So she'd booked karaoke, she'd booked a band, it was a banging venue, like everything was there for a perfect wedding. At 6:00 when they finished the food, 25 of the guests got back on the bus and left. because apparently the bus driver had said that it's not safe to be driving in the dark down the lanes and that they needed to leave.
Fuck off.
Swear to God, 25 people
I'd
left.
get that bus driver back by the
If
cuff of his collar.
If I'd heard more about it, I would have actually gone over and been like, no,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, you've literally been paid to take these people back at the end of the wedding. Like, they were
I'd be
the
fuming.
karaoke was for them, and it was the guests that had come from overseas. So 2 entire tables left, and we've now got, it's 7 o'clock that karaoke's meant to be. It's 6 o'clock, and everyone's like, what's happening now? And I'm like, well, you're all meant to be mingling and having a nice chat. So we ended up having to change loads of stuff, bring the karaoke early. I had to
What did she say?
I think she was a bit gutted. Like,
I'd be fuming at the bus driver.
bus driver, but also if a bus driver came over to me and said, we can't drive down the lanes, I'd be like, I'm not leaving.
I suppose if it's not your country as well,
Yeah,
you just
I
don't know
know.
the etiquette behind it.
But then we had, like, luckily we were in the position to be able to change things, and we did the karaoke earlier. I got some cocktails for some girls to start the karaoke, to just be like, we need some vibe. They played some games, but at that point there's like 45 people in a space, and it was just like, she'd got everything right, and Brian was on the bar, so we were supposed to be leaving at after midnight, and we left at 10. That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, really sad.
But I don't know how you fix that.
No.
Can you be annoyed at guests for leaving early?
No, you can be annoyed at the bus driver.
Yeah.
Bellend bus driver.
I was a bellend.
Big
I'd want my
calling.
money back on that.
Yeah.
But then
Bellend.
she also had the band. They started setting up, and she was like, "That's not the band I booked."
Stop.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "That is not the band I booked. That's not the lead singer." So we had to then
whoa,
be like,
whoa.
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
more. I need more.
So went over. Was it me or the venue went over and were like, "Who's this?" And he was like, "Oh no, the lead singer's been ill for ages." Because I don't know if many people know this, but a lot of bands haven't sung together before. Do you not know this?
What?
Hold on. So how do I explain this well? So say if you book a band.
This is what you get when you book a band through an agency.
I know, but it's so hard to book bands that aren't through an agency.
Book through an agency, you can get thrown together,
They
whatever.
do. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it's fantastic. And you've got a keyboard player that's come from a different thing, and then they all just work together, and it's great, and you wouldn't know. Other times, I can hear them saying, "Hi, nice to meet you, I'm John." And I'm like, the fuck? Like, how are you? So yeah, so sometimes when you book through an agency, you're booking a band, which also isn't their real name, by the way. They can't use their real name on an agency, because you obviously just find them separately and book directly. So you're not booking the real name of the band.
I feel like this is criminal behaviour.
I know, but how do you get around it?
Book a band direct.
But there's not.
There are.
Yeah, there are.
There
You're
are.
right. But
There are. Don't
you
go for an agency.
You do get a little bit of extra security with an agency, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But you don't know who's turning up, so you just have to.
But I've heard horror stories from agencies where they've not
Yeah,
shown
I know,
up.
I know. And well, these people showed up, but they hadn't played together. And the lead singer, so the one she'd booked was very like folky,
Yeah.
cool. This was not.
I
This
think
is not
if a band is doing well solo without agency
They're
and their
doing
marketing,
well.
they're doing well.
I agree, and they therefore must be very good on a day.
Yeah.
Must be always turn up.
Yeah.
Like, I just.
Nah, that's criminal.
It shook me that.
Shook
But
to the
imagine
core.
picturing the band that are playing, and then somebody else turns up. You're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah,
I
no.
think she got her money back for that though.
Good.
Yeah. I
Good
know.
for her.
She
Shame
told them
them.
to leave. They didn't do the second set.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
She didn't want them to do it. It wasn't the band she booked.
Oh, this poor bride.
Honestly, this poor bride. But like, she still had a lovely day, and it was a nice wedding.
Yeah.
But I would just be. This is when we did the episode about like wedding blues. You'd be so upset for ages after that of all that effort, and then being like. Pfft.
Yeah, no defo.
Anyway, do I have any happy stories? The staying away was really lovely, just FYI.
Yeah.
I had really nice food. Magic was banging. Bed was unreal, and they also gave me a personalised dressing gown.
I saw that.
It was so soft.
Do you want a bitches from a bride?
No, I've got one too. They're supposed to do one.
Oh.
Right, you ready for Bitches from a Bride?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Better
This
be
is,
a good one.
this is a long one.
Okay.
Okay. I'm getting married next year in April. My fiance and I have been together 9 years and engaged for almost 2 years. My fiance's... Fuck me, that just ramped up. My fiance's little brother was in jail after pleading guilty to manslaughter. Drug-related stabbing, not your casual accident death. And so we were waiting on his sentencing outcome, as my partner really wanted him at our wedding, which is fine. With as long as the sentence was 3 years or under, he seemed so remorseful and that he'd cleaned up his act. Fast forward to January this year, and his brother got released on parole. So we scheduled the wedding, have booked everything, and there's no going back now. Little did we know, he'd still been an absolute selfish scumbag with no regard for anyone else and breached parole several times, shooting up meth, totaling his family car twice, taking out a loan in someone else's name, and more, thus landing himself back in jail a week ago. He's also the best man. Not who I would have picked, but hey-ho.
Hey-ho.
Now the dilemma.
Hey-ho.
Now the dilemma. I'm hoping and praying that he isn't re-released on parole prior to the wedding, as I don't want to have the conversation with my fiance.
Well, I hope he's not just for the general public fucking safety. Not just for your wedding.
And that
and your supplier's safety.
I don't want to have the conversation with my fiance that he's firstly not in the bridal party and secondly that I do not want him there at all. We are solely funding the £40,000 wedding and I refuse to let such a toxic human being be there.
He's a fucking criminal.
However, he is my fiance's little brother.
No, however.
Am I a bitch for not wanting him at the wedding?
No.
My stance on this. His little brother has caused huge conflict in the past, so I'm worried about having the conversation that if my fiance insists on him coming, it will be for the ceremony only and that he needs to be drug tested before. Am I crazy for having that rule? The situation is fucking crazy and I've got no idea what to do with this.
I'm fucking mind blown.
I hope this isn't a problem for many listeners.
Fucking hell. 1, he's a criminal.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. 2,
Drug test that bitch.
But it's not just drugs. He does like loans in people's names. He's like, he's breaking parole. He's obviously got other issues.
God.
Sorry, I don't care if his family. He's been arrested and then didn't remorse.
And he got done for manslaughter.
Mate.
Fuck me.
No.
Jesus.
You've got to... I'm sorry.
How do you say no though?
But if it was your family, you'd be like, no, I fully fucking get it. Like my nan doesn't want to be around a manslaughter.
Yeah, but his mum would be like, of course your brother's coming.
And I'd be like, of course your son's a fucking criminal.
I've seen some TikTok ones. I saved one to show you.
No.
What?
We did a wedding and the police were fucking called.
I've done a wedding where the police have called as well.
Because of drugs.
Oh, mine wasn't drugs.
Drugs and fights.
Mine was fights, domestic abuse fights.
Brian, ex-copper.
Ex-copper.
Have you ever been called out to a wedding?
The morning of a wedding?
Of his wedding.
Fuck off.
So he couldn't get married?
Brian, how have we done this podcast for 40 episodes?
Okay, so let's
Can you
rerun
come
that
here
story.
a sec? Can you come here a sec, Brian?
Hello.
Ex-copperia.
Yeah, I think it was called out to a fight, like a domestic fight between a dad and a son. The son then got in the car before we arrived. He was then stopped down the road driving the car, but he was drunk, so he was arrested for drink driving and assault as well, I think. And then on the way to custody, he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting married in the morning."
Wait. So this was the night before his wedding?
Well, it was like 1, 2 in the morning of the day he was getting married. So it was like they did like a family stag do type thing the night before. So he was like, "What time am I going to get let out?" And we were like, "No idea, mate." And he was like, "Well, I'm getting married at like I think it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something."
Did he ever get out?
I'm not sure. I wasn't on.
Brian,
I
we
wasn't-
need...
I wasn't on.
This is your warning right now. Do not do anything the night before the wedding that could put you in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Brian.
What the fuck's sake, man? Imagine getting a text though that's like, "I'm in custody."
I'm in custody.
I wonder how often that probably happens.
Quite a few times.
Yeah, because the tension of a wedding
Yeah.
causes the fight. Like I can see how the fight between a parent and the groom, bride, whatever.
Oh, so on this topic, I've got another one that's very similar, actually.
Jesus.
Okay, you ready?
No. Okay.
So, I have a Bitches from a Bride. I just want to say I love the pod and listen to it every Thursday morning on the bus to work. Cute. So, my husband had, emphasis on had, 4 groomsmen. He now has 3. He had to fire one.
Okay.
The reason it was a mutual decision to fire a groomsman because he's being court-martialed for a sex crime. This was a total shock. So a friendship of over 10 years has ended because husband-to-be doesn't want to associate himself with that. Fabulous.
Fair.
Now we have a hard decision to make. Do we tell the groomsman he's no longer considered a friend, let alone a groomsman, so won't even get an invite, or do we just not say anything and ghost him? FYI, no suits, big expenses have been bought, and the stag isn't planned, so nothing will go to waste. We're getting married June next year.
So what's the question? Do they tell him? Do they tell him he's not a grooms when he's not invited, or do they just ghost him?
This is more common than we think.
Is it?
In the parties, essentially.
It's the boys, isn't it?
It's the boys.
Of course
Bad
it
boys,
fucking
bad
is.
boys.
I feel like girls are bitchier throughout.
But men
are just
serious
snapped quick.
criminals.
What do you do? Do you say...
I'd just be like, with all due respect, mate, you've got a minder. What was it?
A court-martial.
A court-martial, because you're a danger. Like, if you get court-martialed, surely that means that you are a danger. Do they have, like, handcuffs on them? I've been watching a programme.
What?
I've been watching a programme about women in prison. And she's obviously got pregnant. When she goes to
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean? Obviously, she's got pregnant.
Well, she got pregnant. Well, she was pregnant when she went in or
right,
whatever.
there we go.
It's on BBC. Great. I'll find the name of it. But when she goes to get her scan, she's obviously handcuffed to a lady, and they're all in there. And there's all these new mums like in there, and she's handcuffed. So will they be handcuffed?
Maybe. Jesus.
That's what no. I think let's cut it off. Let's be honest.
I might start saying to people, put on your invitations, don't wear white.
Don't be a
don't
criminal.
Be a sex pest. And don't have been done for manslaughter. Drug tests will be randomly allocated.
I just think, like, with all due respect, you can't be a criminal. I mean, innocent until proven guilty. I get it.
Preach
that. We're here for that.
Because this is my other issue, is what if he hasn't done all this and his mate has immediately just cut off?
No, I'm here for it. Innocent until proven guilty. As soon as you're guilty...
Yeah, but that guy who's got the court-martial then has not been proven guilty yet.
No. But they must have some sufficient
dirt.
evidence to have a court. Not everyone gets a court-martial.
You've not been court-martialed before?
No. Have you?
Yeah, all the time.
Wow.
I don't even. I mean, what a way to.
What an episode.
What an episode. Gee, God. We should do a tip anyway. I've got.
Don't
a tip.
be a criminal.
Don't get done for sex crimes.
Or murder, or just don't be a criminal. What's the difference?
Let's do a tip jar.
Go on then.
Okay, so I've got a theme for our tip jar.
A theme?
Yeah, because it's not just like a simple tip.
All right.
Tips for couples being how to be a good couple for your supplier.
Ooh.
I know, right?
Okay.
Because we forget that, yes, we're paying these suppliers to do a job for us.
Yep.
However, surely you also want to know the etiquette back.
I feel like it depends on which supplier.
Why?
Because, like, my couples need to be different to me than to the photographer.
Well, not different in some things, though. There's some obvious, like, my number one biggest thing ever is don't ghost people.
Yes.
Just like, we're not offended if you say, I've gone with someone else, it's out of budget, we're not looking to do this anymore. Like, just let me know. And then it's gone.
But on the back of that, if you actually can't afford it, but you want it and you're being unrealistic with your budget, which is one going to put you in financial constraint or not pay your invoices on time, that puts us in a uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
You have to be comfortable with what you're booking. And if it's not in the budget or you can't afford it, don't do it. Because it builds a really horrible relationship between you and the client. Like, we've had clients before and I'm like, I don't want to chase you.
Yeah.
But you haven't paid your invoice on time.
Yeah.
And we need to order things and we need to do this. And so if, like, book within your means.
Book with confidence.
Yes.
Don't ghost your suppliers. We've said about this before, but trust your suppliers. My God, please. You booked that person. Please trust when they're saying to you, this doesn't work, this will be better, like all of those sort of things. Just trust what they're saying, hun.
And be fair with the communication. Give them a couple of days to get back to you.
Yeah.
It's not going to be instant.
Because if you've booked popular suppliers as well, they may be doing 4 weddings back to back. What would you say is a realistic time frame?
Well, you said a week, didn't you?
I think a week.
I say more like 3 days max.
But it depends on the team. This is what we said. Because I have definitely done a week before I've been back-to-back weddings. So... But again, there's nothing I could put an out of office on.
Yeah, when we're really busy, we'll put an out of office on. Say we're really busy doing weddings. You're top of our priority list. I even just like that middle, like I've seen your email. I will get back to you next week.
I was going to say when I was out for a long time, I did have somebody checking them, going, "We're out. We're out. We're coming back to you. We've seen your email." I would say a week is a good time frame to work on.
So
I'd expect to chase after a week.
Yeah, I did a site visit with a client yesterday. She was like, they haven't got back to me in 4 weeks, but they email me when they want paying.
Interesting. But does that email come as an automatic
I don't know.
email?
Also, they've had so many different coordinators and stuff. Everything's different. Carnage. Absolute carnage at that venue. But
External girl.
good job that the tag
External.
team are there.
Am I there?
Wow, one of you girls are there.
Nice. External coordinators.
And it's just because, like, we don't even know what ceremony room she's going in at the moment.
That's mad, isn't it?
Mm. And good job she's got a celebrant, so we don't need licensing.
Cool.
She's got
Fine.
Faye.
Reviews.
Yep.
After. I think they are the number one thing that the suppliers will appreciate after more than anything else.
My biggest thing, and I got hate for this online when I posted this,
What?
is I said, be realistic with what you're expecting from your supplier. For my example was, you're sending me Sophia Richie's wedding and you've got a 5k budget.
Yes.
It's not going to work. And someone got really offended. They were like, well, I don't want to be laughed at. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just being very realistic and saying,
Yeah.
$5,000 probably got her a bouquet.
Literally for that one. Yeah. You can use it, but I think both sides have to be able to communicate and
Yeah.
say, this is what we like, aka, and then you might say, what do you like about that? The colours,
Yeah.
the amount of decor, the placement of decor. Like that's where you can then start to look at it. Yeah, I think
Be
being
realistic. Like look at, like, I mean, it's not even looking at suppliers work because some of the weddings we do are
mad.
big budgets and
Yeah.
some are reasonable budgets. And it's figuring out where you sit on that. And I can go, here's a wedding we did for 10 grand.
Yes.
This is what you,
This is how much stuff
this
you
is
got.
what you're likely to expect.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have a client at the moment who doesn't know what they want, but wants to book me. And I was like, no, we have to make sure you're comfortable
with the spend
with
that's
the
required.
spend. She's like, yeah, I'm happy with the minimum spend, but I'm like, I know, I need you to know what you're going to get for that.
Yeah.
Itemized it down and things like that. So it's just figuring out that. But I say, be open. And like, if we're not in your budget, like I have a client who wants something and I said, look, go for mix of silk and fresh. I don't want silk and fresh flowers. I was like, out of all these pictures, can you tell which one was silk and fresh?
Yeah.
No.
Trust.
It's a big art.
Trust.
Like I can create your look, but not, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, be realistic.
Okay, so we've got realistic. I've lost all the other ones that we've done.
Don't ghost. Be realistic. Reviews.
Realistic is again with time frame, communication, reviews, and your attitude on the day to suppliers.
Oh, yes.
Like it's a stressful day for everybody. I've never had this though. I've never had a bride not be anything and a groom anything other than lovely. But just remember that these people are working and you have what?
I want to ask you a situation, right?
Okay.
So we get told that we're allowed access to the main house at 10 o'clock to dress the staircase.
Cool.
Guests are arriving at 12.
Yeah.
We didn't get access till 11. So that's an hour.
What, as in you weren't there?
No,
or they didn't let
we
you
were
in?
there and they were like, no, we need to clean. I was like, no, I need to get the staircase done.
Oh.
Like guests are going to be arriving. No, cleaners need to finish. Absolutely not. Categorically. I was like, I literally need to
dress the whole
staircase. And I'm like, well, what do I do? Force my way through?
Oh, what did you do?
So we got it done in time, but it meant that we were still like finishing, and the groom wasn't happy about that on the morning. And I said to him, look, I'm really sorry, but I've actually got an hour when I actually needed 2 hours. Like, you're lucky that, like, I didn't say this,
no,
but like,
you're lucky there's anything in here.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm so sorry, like we didn't get access. And they were like, no, he told me you could have access. I was like, no.
And this is the thing, on a wedding day, like I don't tell my couples nothing on a wedding day. Nothing. I know I can say nothing properly, but I'm just being over dramatic. Nothing on a wedding day because I don't need you to worry about this. We'll talk about it later if we need to, but for now, don't worry. I would just, like, as a couple, maybe on the day, be conscious of the fact that all your suppliers are working for you
and as hard as they possibly can,
with the benefit of you. So if something isn't quite right, like I've done things before where I've had to change stuff. It's not me just going, oh, actually, we're not going to do a first look right now. We're going to do it later. There's a reason. There's a reason for that. Like, just go, okay, cool.
But yeah, we were like, it was nice. Like, I always make sure before guests arrive, vans are moved, any like scissors and all that stuff are gone.
The dirty stuff.
We can titivate prettily.
Yeah.
But like, it was like, it's not nice. You don't want your guests to walk into your suppliers. We had it at the wedding that we did the other day when we brought an army of people in.
Yeah.
Because we had an hour and a half to set up.
Yeah.
But guests arrived half an hour earlier than they should have.
Yeah.
And we're like,
what were we supposed to
what
do?
we meant to do? Like, this is really important. Like, get your guests to arrive in good time.
Yeah.
But is there a holding room where they're not going to see?
Yeah.
Like we have it on our sheets that it's like guest facing areas get done first.
Obviously, yeah, of course. Like the suppliers can only do so much.
Let me tell you now, some timings are fucking impossible.
This is super important, don't book a venue that doesn't let you in the day before.
And if they're not ready on time, like if the wedding was slow coming out the day before, it delays us going in. And it's like, well, we can't just swallow. It's in our terms and conditions that if timings aren't met, we are not liable.
Yeah.
Like we'll do it, but it's not going to be
as seamless as had hoped.
Yeah, like we can work. And when I say like, I could not have brought any more people into that wedding we did.
Yeah.
To the point that everyone's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like you were like,
some of the other suppliers were like, is this like a Vogue shoot? And I was like, no, you just got all the dream team.
Like we had a lot of people, like physically couldn't get any more people in. And that was tight because the guests come early.
Yeah.
And like they go into their bedrooms, which they aren't going to check into on the staircase that we're dressing.
Oh, so just be nice to
go.
suppliers.
Yeah, be nice to
We've
suppliers.
gone from manslaughter to moaning about thing again. Shocking.
Tips from the episode: don't be a murderer, don't be a criminal, be nice,
and don't let your kids go on the dance floor.
There we go. See you next week.
Bye.